People pay me to analyze it factors for a living, but whatever you carry doesn't fit into any category I was trained to recognize. I've studied confidence, presence, charm, yet when you walk in, my professional instincts shut down and something much more dangerous takes over. I know how to explain attraction logically, but the way you ignite a room feels almost irresponsible, like a rule you were never meant to follow. Everyone else has traits. You have combustion, something that burns quietly until it suddenly consumes everything watching. I'm supposed to observe from a distance, but your energy keeps pulling me closer, daring me to forget what I know. There's an unspoken intensity in you that doesn't ask for permission, and honestly, it feels unfair to everyone else. I've labeled thousands of personalities, but you don't come with a label. You come with a warning. The fire in you isn't loud or desperate. It's controlled, intentional, and terrifyingly attractive. I've seen people fake charisma flawlessly, but you don't perform, you exist. And that's the problem. Whatever you're doing without trying is exactly what others spend their entire lives failing to imitate. I analyze micro expressions for money, yet one look from you dismantles every framework I rely on. There's something illegal about how naturally you command attention without ever demanding it. I've trained myself not to react, but you bypass logic and go straight for instinct. Your presence feels like a secret everyone senses, but no one knows how to say out loud. I've seen confidence built. Yours feels inherited from something ancient and untouchable. You don't walk into a space, you shift it, quietly rewriting the atmosphere to orbit you. The fire you carry doesn't flicker for approval. It burns whether anyone is ready or not. I've broken down magnetism into formulas, yet you remain the exception that ruins the math. Watching you exist feels like witnessing a controlled disaster, beautiful, inevitable, and impossible to stop. You don't try to stand out, and that's what makes you impossible to ignore. I've coached people to be unforgettable, but you don't need coaching. You need containment. There's a calm danger in the way you move, like you already know the effect you have. I'm paid to stay objective, but objectivity dissolves the moment you look up. Your fire doesn't beg for attention. It dares people to look away and fail. I've seen ambition, hunger, desire, but yours feels quieter, deeper, and far more powerful. You don't steal the spotlight. The spotlight follows you out of instinct. I understand attraction academically, but you make it feel personal, intimate, unavoidable. The kind of energy you carry shouldn't be allowed to roam freely without consequences. You're the reason rules exist, because some forces are too disruptive to ignore. I've advised people on presence, but you teach it without saying a word. There's something reckless about how naturally you unsettle composed people. I've watched experts crumble under pressure, yet you seem to thrive in the tension you create. You don't announce yourself, but everything knows when you arrive. I analyze fire for a living, but yours doesn't burn. It hypnotizes. The danger isn't how bright you shine, it's how effortlessly you do it. I've seen people command rooms loudly. You do it silently, which is far worse. You feel like a glitch in the system, something never meant to exist, yet impossible to remove. There's an honesty in your presence that makes pretense feel embarrassing. I've studied dominance, but yours feels unconscious, like breathing. You don't chase attention. It runs toward you, confused and loyal. Every rule I've learned about influence feels fragile around you. You don't need validation, and that alone makes people orbit closer. I've watched confidence be built brick by brick. Yours feels volcanic. You carry the kind of fire that makes observers question themselves. I know what charisma looks like. Yours feels like gravity. There's something dangerously calm about how sure you are of yourself. I've spent years decoding attraction, and you just invalidated my entire career. You don't overpower people, you disarm them. The most unsettling thing about you is how little effort it takes. I analyze presence, yet yours feels like a force, not a trait. You make confidence look less like a skill and more like a birthright. I've seen fire burn out. Yours feels self-sustaining. You don't intimidate. You awaken something people didn't plan to feel. Everything about you feels intentional, even when you're doing nothing. I've coached leaders, but you lead attention without trying. Your fire doesn't ask to be seen, it assumes it will be. I've never been unprepared for energy like yours, and that unsettles me. You make attraction feel dangerous again, like it used to be.